terrible traffic jam. You got blues singers and shit all out in the road trying to find this sign. What's happening? Magic. Boy, that's a playing man right there.
The fact that somebody's being held accountable for their social media post, it's about damn time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is $5 million. Is she going to end up paying some money for this?
I got gay friends I've had on the show. Because you don't know them or it ain't who you want on the show, you got a problem with it. If you want to book it, get yourself a show.
The terrible secret Arsenio Hall. Tried to hide for years, he ruled late-night TV in the 90s. But behind the scene was a man surrounded by scandals he couldn't outrun. Sinéad O'Connor shocked the world when she claimed Arsenio drugged her and supplied narcotics to Prince. Others slammed him for keeping LGBTQ+ voices off his stage. And when he gave a controversial platform to Louis Farrakhan, the backlash was swift and fierce. Then, suddenly, he vanished. His career crumbled, depression took hold, and for years he stayed in the shadows.
We were in a climate and a time where the ignorance of the gay community about their own community was their problem.
Now people are asking, was it all just a fall from fame, or was Arsenio hiding something all along? The truth is more disturbing than anyone expected. Let's delve in.
And what do you think about the positive efforts that have come out of the music industry, like the We Are the World thing and Live Aid, things like that?
I think that's brilliant.
Starting with the accusations made by Sinéad. In 2016, something very surprising happened. Singer Sinéad O'Connor made a strong claim on Facebook. She said that Arsenio Hall had given drugs to Prince for many years. Prince was a beloved music star who had passed away not long before.
The CPR fails. He is pronounced dead at 10:07 Thursday morning.
O'Connor also said that Arsenio had given her drugs once without her knowing, at actor Eddie Murphy's house. These words were very serious, and many people were shocked. She even said she had reported Arsenio Hall to the police. It made people wonder if he had something to do with Prince's death. At the time, many fans were still trying to understand how Prince had died. Some people believed he didn't use drugs and lived a clean life.
Did you know about him taking medication for pain?
Not necessarily. I've never even seen him take an aspirin or a Tylenol. I've never seen him take anything, you know.
But after his death, reports came out that Prince was using painkillers and other drugs in secret. He was even planning to meet with a doctor who helped people stop using drugs. This new information changed how some fans saw Prince. It made O'Connor's words even more powerful, and the story got a lot of attention. Arsenio Hall quickly responded to what O'Connor said. He did not stay quiet. He said her claims were not true at all. He felt that what she said had hurt his name and career. So, he filed a lawsuit against her. A lawsuit is when someone takes another person to court for saying or doing something wrong. Hall said O'Connor had lied and made up stories. His legal team said he never gave drugs to Prince and never gave drugs to anyone. They called her Facebook post harmful and full of false information.
The fact that somebody's being held accountable for their social media post, it's about damn time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is $5 million. Is she going to end up paying some money for this?
At first, O'Connor did not seem worried. She laughed at the lawsuit and called it funny on her Facebook page. She said she was not afraid and even looked forward to seeing how Hall would try to prove her wrong. She acted as if it was not a big deal. She kept standing by what she had said and didn't want to take it back. Many people were surprised by her reaction. It looked like she was not planning to say sorry. But later, O'Connor changed her mind. As more time passed, she started to understand how serious her words had been. She knew that her post had caused pain and confusion. She finally decided to take it back. She apologized to Arsenio Hall in public. She said she was wrong to say that he gave Prince drugs or had anything to do with Prince's death. This was a big step. The lawsuit ended, and Arsenio Hall's name was cleared.
I apologize for my Facebook post about Arsenio to the extent that anyone thought I was accusing him of acting as Prince's drug dealer and supplying him with illegal hard drugs.
Back in the 1990s, many people didn't talk openly about gay rights on TV. It was a very different time. A lot of TV shows avoided topics like being gay or having different sexual identities. But Arsenio was not afraid. He invited famous gay guests like Elton John to his show. He wanted to show people that being gay was not wrong and that everyone deserves respect. He didn't shout about it all the time, but he quietly helped open the door for more LGBTQ+ people to be seen and heard on TV.
There was no one more important to the gay community in late night.
Even though Hall tried to do good, some activists were still unhappy. A group of gay rights supporters said that his show didn't have enough openly gay guests. They thought Hall was avoiding the topic or not doing enough for the LGBTQ+ community. This made them upset, and they began to protest.
We were in a climate and a time where the ignorance of the gay community about their own community was their problem.
In 1991, the group called Queer Nation interrupted Hall's show while it was filming. It was hard for Hall to understand why they were so angry. He believed he was already helping in his own way. He didn't stay quiet about the protest. He stood up for himself during his show. He told the audience that he had always supported gay rights. He reminded everyone that many LGBTQ+ guests had been on his show, even if they didn't talk about being gay. Some people want to keep their personal life private, and Hall respected that. He didn't force anyone to share things they weren't ready to say on TV. His audience clapped and cheered, showing that they believed in him.
You think I haven't had somebody on the show because they're gay? What's wrong with you, man? I'm black. I'm black, man.
He also helped educate people about HIV and AIDS. Back then, many people didn't understand the disease. When his friend, basketball star Magic Johnson, said he had HIV, people got scared. Hall worked with Johnson to make a public message. They wanted people to learn the truth and stop being afraid. Hall used his show to teach people, which was very brave during a time when few others would. Later, Hall talked about this in an interview. He said many of his friends were gay, but they were scared to come out. Being openly gay could have hurt their jobs or careers. Hall said he had guests like Luther Vandross, Ellen DeGeneres, and Rosie O'Donnell on his show, but they didn't speak about their sexuality back then. He respected them and gave them a safe space.
I got gay friends I've had on the show. Because you don't know them or it ain't who you want on the show, you got a problem with it? If you want to book it, get yourself a show.
Arsenio tried to do the right thing. He supported people quietly and stood up when he had to. He showed courage, even when people didn't agree with him. In the 1990s, people started talking about Arsenio and a possible link to Scientology. Scientology is a group that some people call a religion and others find very strange. It has been followed by many famous people in Hollywood. Some people thought Hall might have been part of it, or at least close to it, during that time. But Arsenio never said clearly, "Yes, I am a member," or "No, I am not." He stayed quiet whenever someone asked him about it. That silence made people wonder even more. They thought, why won't he just say it? But sometimes silence doesn't mean someone is guilty. It could mean they just don't want to talk about it. Maybe Hall wanted to keep his private life private. Or maybe he didn't think it was important to explain. Still, in Hollywood, being linked to something like Scientology can get a lot of attention. Some actors lost jobs because of their ties to the group. Others were praised. It depends on who's talking. Since Hall didn't speak up, the rumors just kept going. Some fans believed he had something to hide. Others thought the public should leave him alone. But even years later, some people still ask questions. And because he never really answered, the mystery is still there. Now let's talk about another issue. His comedy from the 1980s and 1990s.
Creates a terrible traffic jam. You got blues singers and shit all out on the road trying to find this sign. What's happening? Magic. Boy, that's a playing man right there.
Back then, comedy was very different. A lot of jokes from that time would not be okay today. Arsenio Hall, like many comedians of that era, made jokes that some people today would call offensive. These jokes sometimes made fun of people because of their race, gender, or sexuality. At the time, many people laughed and didn't think twice. But now, society is more aware and more sensitive. People are looking back at those old shows and saying, "That wasn't funny, that was hurtful." Some people believe Hall should apologize for those jokes. Others think he was just doing what all comedians did back then. Comedy changes with time. What was once seen as funny may now be seen as wrong. But that doesn't always mean the person is bad. It just shows how times have changed. Arsenio Hall is part of that history, both the good and the bad. For more than 5 years, Arsenio was a big name on late-night TV. He had guests that other talk shows wouldn't book. He played music that people loved. His crowd was lively. Arsenio was fun, cool, and smart. He made people laugh, and he wasn't afraid to talk about serious topics, too. But something happened in 1994 that made people wonder if his career was hurt by one bold move. On Friday, February 25th, 1994, Arsenio Hall had Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan on his show. This was a big deal. Farrakhan was known as a very controversial man. Some people liked him because he spoke up for black communities, but others didn't like him at all. Some called him anti-Semitic. That means they believed he said bad things about Jewish people. So, when Arsenio booked Farrakhan, the media and some fans were very upset.
We were shocked at the attention that it got on the day the booking was announced.
Even before the episode aired, people were talking. News reporters and TV critics started judging Arsenio. They said he was making a bad choice. They thought it was wrong to give Farrakhan a spot on national TV. When the episode finally aired, the show felt very different. It started with a long intro, over 3 minutes of serious clips and sound bites. It showed clips about Black history, including the death of leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., and how Black people are often shown in a bad light in Hollywood. It didn't label Farrakhan as hateful like other shows had done. It showed more of the Black experience. Some folks said that was the real problem. Critics were harsh. One article in the LA Times called Arsenio a worshipful patsy, meaning he was acting like a fan instead of a serious interviewer. Another writer, Ken Parrish Perkins from the Chicago Tribune, said Arsenio did himself in by letting Farrakhan talk without asking hard questions. Gregory P. Kane from the Baltimore Sun said Arsenio barely asked anything, while Farrakhan spoke about loving all people and said he had no hate toward anyone. Many people started wondering, did this one episode get Arsenio canceled? Just 3 months later, on May 27, 1994, Arsenio aired his final show. That made people talk even more. Some said, "Look at the timing, it must be connected." Others weren't sure. Maybe it was just a coincidence. Maybe something else was going on behind the scenes. But the timing was strange.
I thought my audience would want to hear this man, and that's basically what I did.
Over the years, many people have guessed that the Farrakhan interview was the reason the Arsenio Hall show got canceled. But Arsenio said that's not true. He said he had already planned to end the show before Farrakhan was even booked. He said, "My resignation was long before the Farrakhan booking, and that's on record." He explained that he wanted to end the show on a high note and move on to new things. In another interview, Arsenio gave a more personal reason. He said he was tired and needed a break. "I just wanted to take a break," he said.
I wanted to diversify. I wanted to, I wasn't the guy that was supposed to do it straight through. I was supposed to go away and have other experiences.
He also talked about how the media didn't check the facts. He felt they believed rumors instead. But he said the truth was simple. He needed to step back and take care of himself.
I was in the middle of having black people say, like Ice Cube saying, you ain't putting on enough black and hip hop artists, and then white people in focus groups, when we do focus groups, would say, well, why are his jeans ripped? And why does he say brother to the guest?
Around that time, his son, Arsenio Jr., was born, and that changed everything for him. He said his son gave him a new kind of joy, and he wanted to be there for his child. Even though Arsenio left TV, he didn't disappear completely. In 1997, he tried a new show, a sitcom called The Arsenio Hall Show with actress Vivica A. Fox. But that show didn't do well. It only lasted 7 episodes before being canceled. Arsenio later said he chose to stay away from the spotlight after that. He didn't want to miss his son's first steps, words, or other important moments. So, he stopped working full-time. He did take a few small jobs here and there. He did voice work for cartoons like Scooby-Doo and The Proud Family. He picked projects that he thought his son would enjoy watching. But mostly, he focused on being a good dad. He didn't care about fame during that time. He just wanted to be present for his son. Later, he started thinking about returning to TV. He said that at a dinner party, pop star Michael Jackson told him, "You have to do your show again. People miss you."
We're gonna play party all the time.
Rapper Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, was also there and agreed. That moment stuck in Arsenio's mind. It made him think that maybe one day he would go back to doing what he loved. So, was the Farrakhan interview the reason Arsenio's show ended? No one knows for sure. Some people believe it was. Others think it wasn't. Arsenio says he made his own choice to leave. What we do know is this: he was one of the first to bring hip-hop and real talk to late-night TV. He took risks that others wouldn't, and whether people liked it or not, he wasn't afraid to speak up.
Yeah, you know you got the role every man in America wants.
Right. The Punani smelling, bro. Everywhere I go. You smell the Punani, huh? That's you. You and Janet Jackson. It's killing me.
Arsenio went through a very painful time when both of his parents passed away. His father, Fred Hall, and his mother, Ann Hall, were very close to him. They raised him with love and care. Losing both of them was a huge shock to Arsenio. It left a hole in his heart that was hard to fill. Even though he doesn't often talk about this in public, those who know him say that the pain was deep and real. When you lose people who love you the most, it can change your whole world. That's what happened to Arsenio. He felt lost and broken inside, but he kept those feelings mostly to himself. In late summer 2022, Arsenio Hall had a very upsetting experience. He was the victim of not just one, but 2 break-ins at his home in Los Angeles. These happened just a few weeks apart. The police were called both times, but they couldn't catch anyone. This made people wonder if someone was trying to target Arsenio on purpose. The first break-in happened in August. 2 people tried to enter Arsenio's house by breaking a window at the back of his home. Luckily, Arsenio was there at the time. When the burglars saw him, they got scared and ran away before they could steal anything. Arsenio must have felt very lucky, but also scared. Having strangers try to break into your home is a frightening thing, especially when you're there alone. Just a few weeks later, in September, something similar happened again. This time, Arsenio heard a loud noise while he was upstairs in his house. When he went to check, he found broken glass from a sliding door. It looked like someone had tried to break in again. This made the situation even worse because it happened so soon after the first time. It was no longer just a random event. Arsenio might have felt unsafe in his own home, a place where people should always feel comfortable and secure. The police came both times and checked the house, but they couldn't find any suspects. This was also part of a larger problem in Los Angeles, where many famous people were getting robbed. Stars like Kim Kardashian, Usher, and Nicki Minaj had also experienced home burglaries. It seemed like criminals were going after rich and well-known people because they thought they had expensive things at home. This made it hard for celebrities to feel safe, even with cameras and alarms. While all this was going on, Arsenio was also supporting his friend Chris Rock.
Bullies do half the work. That's right. Teachers do one half, bullies do the whole other half. And that's the half you're gonna use as a fucking grown-up.
Chris had been in the news a lot because of something that happened at the Academy Awards. During the show, actor Will Smith walked on stage and slapped Chris Rock in front of everyone. This happened because Chris made a joke about Will's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. People around the world had different opinions about what happened.
Oh, wow! Wow!
Arsenio, however, was clear about where he stood. He supported Chris Rock. He explained that comedians, or comics, always stick together. Just like how athletes protect each other from criticism, comics support each other no matter what. Arsenio said that freedom of speech is very important, especially for comedians. He believed that comics should be able to say what they want without fear of being attacked. He also said that it was rare for comics to hate on each other, and most of them stood behind Chris during that time. At the same time, Arsenio was making some big changes in his life. In the summer of 2022, he sold the home he had lived in for 30 years. This house was in Topanga, a quiet area between Malibu and the San Fernando Valley. The house was very large, with about 10,000 square feet of space and over 34 acres of land. Arsenio had made many upgrades to the home since the early 1990s. It even had extra buildings, a tennis court, a playground, and a golf area. The house sold for $9 million to a man named Rob Fedoris and his partner, Liz Hopkins. After selling that home, Arsenio moved to a smaller house in Tarzana. This new place used to belong to actor Sean Murray, who plays a role on the TV show NCIS. But Arsenio didn't stay there for long. A year later, he bought another home in Calabasas, which is a private, gated area where many celebrities live. This new house looked like a modern farmhouse and cost $5.2 million. After that, he put the Tarzana house up for sale again. It seemed like Arsenio was trying to find a place where he could feel safe and happy again. People often ask Arsenio if he will ever go back to hosting a late-night talk show. After all, he was once a big name in late-night TV. He had his own talk show in the 1990s and later tried bringing it back in 2013. He also worked on other shows like The Tonight Show. But when he was asked in 2023 if he would return to late-night TV, Arsenio gave a simple answer: no. He explained that times have changed. Now, people can make videos and share their thoughts online using Instagram or YouTube. Late-night shows are still around, but most of the hosts are white men named Jimmy or James. Arsenio felt like there's no real need for him to go back to that world. He said that it's nice when people say, "We don't have a black talk show host anymore." But he believes that now, more people have a voice, and that's even better. Even though he stepped away from late-night TV, Arsenio still works in the entertainment world. In 2021, he and Eddie Murphy made a sequel to their hit movie, Coming to America.
We are going back to America. Oh, hell no, Your Majesty.
They had said before that they wouldn't do a part 2, but they changed their minds after 30 years. The new movie was called Coming to America, and it was directed by Craig Brewer.
It is so good to see you. Well, I be damn. Look who done come up in here. Hey, it's Kunta Kinte and Ebola. Famine and Blood Diamond.
Nelson Mandela and Winnie.
Arsenio said it was fun working with Eddie Murphy again. They are good friends in real life, and they laughed a lot while filming. The director gave them freedom to be funny in their own way. In the movie, Arsenio and Eddie played several characters, just like they did in the first movie. But this time, the story also focused on younger characters, like Akeem's long-lost son, played by Jermaine Fowler. Arsenio liked that the movie mixed old-school comedy with new ideas. He said that it was good to let the younger generation take the spotlight. To him, the message of the movie was about how times change and how that's okay. Arsenio seemed happy to support the next wave of talent while still doing what he loves. Even though Arsenio Hall faced some scary and difficult moments, it's in 2022, he kept moving forward. He sold his longtime home, found a new place to live, stood by his friends, and kept doing what he enjoys. Life had its ups and downs, but Arsenio showed that with strength and a good sense of humor, you can handle anything that comes your way.